bodies everywhere, and I was crawling. I just kept crawling.
He's my only child.
No act of hate or terror will ever change who we are or the values that make us Americans.
Hello, I'm Paulo Salazar. We're following developments in the Orlando nightclub shooting where authorities are close to identifying all 49 victims. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez joins us live outside of the nightclub.
And several vigils are planned for tonight in other parts of Orlando. But here at the scene, the focus is still on the investigation and piecing together this nightmare that for so many people is still sinking in.
From the horrors of yesterday to the heartbreaking confirmation today, dozens of families now learning their loved ones are among the victims.
We missed him. We missed him. We love him.
At the scene where 49 people were so viciously killed, investigators collecting evidence as federal authorities delve into the killer's past.
It appears that the shooter was inspired by various extremist information that was disseminated over the internet.
29-year-old Omar Mateen was interviewed by the FBI 3 times in 2013 and 2014 for possible links to terrorism.
But he also had a lot of hatred for people, black people, women, nor did he like gay or lesbian people.
But the FBI deemed Mateen was not a threat, and he was able to buy the assault rifle and handgun used in the attacks legally.
He passed the background check.
Mateen using them to unleash 3 hours of terror early Sunday inside this gay nightclub during Latin night, in the midst of which he called 911, pledging loyalty to ISIS.
But he also appeared to claim solidarity with the perpetrators of the Boston Marathon bombing and solidarity with a Florida man who died as a suicide bomber in Syria, which adds a little bit to the confusion about his motives.
And Mateen was killed by a SWAT team here, and we learned today they decided to break through a wall here when Mateen threatened to strap bombs onto hostages. Live in Orlando, Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News. Now back to you.
And we have team coverage on the events in Orlando, starting with WTXL ABC 27's Jade Biloxa, who is at the First Presbyterian Church in Tallahassee, where a vigil is getting underway. Jade, how are residents remembering the victims?
We are inside the church here, and as you can see, people are already taking a seat. Now, there is a list of people speaking tonight, including the mayor and a representative from the Islamic Center of Tallahassee. And from what I understand, it's going to be a very moving ceremony. And at the end, they are going to light candles in honor of those victims. Now, one of those victims is a FAMU graduate. His name is Antonio Brown. He was listed as one of the people killed at the nightclub. The 29-year-old was a criminal justice major from Cocoa Beach. He was involved in ROTC while at FAMU. He graduated in 2008. Military officials are also telling us Brown was a captive in the U.S. Army Reserves. Now, FAMU also says they will continue to update the community about plans for a memorial or remembrance ceremony for him. And also, WTXL ABC 27 Stephen G. One-Mall has been following the capital city's reaction to this mass shooting. Stephen?
Well, it's not just residents who are concerned about safety, but elected officials as well. In fact, City Commissioner Gil Ziffer is calling for a discussion about the closing times at bars and nightclubs in light of Sunday's shooting in Orlando. Now, earlier this year, the city extended closing hours at places that serve alcohol to 4 a.m. This includes local bars and nightclubs. Sunday, Commissioner Ziffer emailed the rest of the commission along with the city manager and city attorney calling for that decision to be reconsidered. That suggestion prompted Mayor Gillum and Commissioner Curtis Richardson to respond back, saying that the tragedy in Orlando should not be tied to what time a bar or club closes. We spoke to Commissioner Ziffer today to clarify his concerns.
It's not a fair distance away. It's here in Florida. I grew up in Orlando. It's deeply personal for me also, as so many other people. But I think it's worthy of having the conversation. Should we be doing something maybe different so that we don't give as much of an opportunity?
Right now, there's no indication that the commission will officially address that issue. Ziffer says he'd like a conversation about it before the commission breaks for the summer. And back here live, we're going to turn things over to WTXL ABC 27's Paulo Salazar, who joins us in the WTXL studio. Paulo?
All right, Stephen, and we'll continue to follow the events out of Orlando for you on air and online. Time now to send things to our chief meteorologist, Casanova Nurse, and get a look at those outside temperatures. Another hot one, Cass.
That's for sure. You know, we are in the throngs of summer heat, even though it's not officially summer yet. But in June, in the south, you expect the temperatures to climb to very uncomfortable levels. If you think near 100 degrees is uncomfortable, I know I'm in that category. And that's exactly where we had today at Tallahassee International. 100 degrees, first time this season and this year. 74 was the low temperature this morning, so even those morning readings don't give us much relief. In comparison, last year, it was 93 degrees on this date, so a little bit on the different side for sure, and certainly a lot hotter. Titan radar, not very active. We do see at least a few late day showers trying to build a little bit more activity, newly formed action right along 221. Some of that is remnant from earlier showers and storms that were just to the south of that region. We also have a little bit more activity in our western zones. The Wakulla County action has been diminishing, maybe a stray lightning strike right along the Ocklawahamie River, and then newly formed activity, some of which is from earlier thunderstorms in southeast Alabama, some of that trying to make its way into far southwest Georgia, crossing the Chattahoochee. So isolated thunderstorms, that will be the case as we go into the evening, but don't expect a huge amount of rain to cool you down rapidly. However, rain chances are on the increase. I'll tell you why in the Storm Team forecast.
All right, Cass, we'll get a full look with you in just a little bit. Still much more ahead on your news at 6. The Seminoles and Gators are facing off tonight. The winner will be Omaha bound for the College World Series. Allison Posey joins us live from Gainesville in just a bit. But first, here's a look at the vigil outside of the White House for the victims of the Orlando shooting. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Tonight we go behind the scenes with the Tallahassee Police Department to show you how they can find out if a gun is stolen. Technology does a lot of the work, searching serial numbers all over the nation, even going back decades. WTXL ABC 27's Jade Biloxa explains on tonight's Insiders Report.
Tallahassee police say its buyback program did exactly what it was supposed to do. It took in unwanted guns and even recovered a stolen gun dating back to 1986. Rifles and handguns out of the trunks of SUVs and cars and into the hands of police. They don't know who you are and they don't ask questions. 709-471. Police just want your guns.
Overall goal is to try to get as many guns off the street as possible. The more we can get people to turn in these weapons, you know, it creates a safer environment for people in their homes and outside their homes.
It's dangerous.
Harrison Rivers dropped off a shotgun he grew up with.
If you put a shell in it and close the breech, it'll fire.
Molly Pitcher turned in a gun as well.
Very distressed about the number of guns on the street and in people's homes. And the gun that I turned in, I got accidentally. And so knowing that it's a weapon and knowing that it's a danger, I was happy to get rid of it in a safe manner.
Officers running the serial numbers through the system, searching for weapons that may have been stolen.
Model D10.
We're able to access NCIC and FCIC, which is a way that we can actually run the gun with the serial number to determine whether or not it's stolen.
This gun turned out not to be stolen. But Tallahassee police say this .357 revolver is one the Chattahoochee Police Department entered in as stolen nearly 30 years ago. I spoke with a Chattahoochee police sergeant who told me the gun was taken during a burglary in October of 1986, adding it was stolen from the Chattahoochee Gun and Pawn on West Washington Street. Chattahoochee police say once they get the gun from the Tallahassee police, it's possible they'll have the Florida Department of Law Enforcement run ballistics testing and then turn it over to the owner. And as for the other guns, they are put into a database, then turned over to the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
We'll run them a second time through the FCIC, NCIC database and turn them over to the Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff's Department will in turn hold them for 6 months, where they will get a court order, and then they will run them a third time. And then after that, they will get the court order to dispose of them by melting them.
Officers tell us stolen guns don't usually show up at these buyback programs, but in this case, Chattahoochee police say the one they landed at this event could help them crack the unsolved case. The Tallahassee Police Department received 32 guns at this event. Those who turned them in were given gift cards. And in 2014, police teamed up with a national organization of black law enforcement executives and received 61 guns. In 2012, 43 guns were collected. TPD wants to have another buyback event, but no date has been set yet. And remember, if you have a story idea for The Insider, send us an email to abc27news@wtxl.tv. Attention insiders, Jade Biloxa, WTXL ABC 27, dedicated to you.
And still ahead on your news at 6, Allison Posey joins us live from Gainesville, where they have a big matchup underway.
And in Gainesville, like here in the Capital Region and South Georgia, it has been another hot afternoon with not many thunderstorms around. Florida State University WeatherStem camera showing the time lapse over the last 6 hours of some scattered cloudiness, giving a little bit of shade late today, but not a whole lot of rain from these.
Well, it was another scorcher today. Our chief meteorologist, Casanova Nurse, is here to tell us just how hot did it get outside today, Cass?
It was 100 officially at Tallahassee International, 96 in Valdosta, so mid-upper 90s, near 100. I've seen on social media some folks posting their car thermometer readings, 104. It really is a hot one out there. Some of the temperatures that you may have seen may be skewed by direct sunlight, of course, but you get the idea. There's nothing that's going to really cause temperatures to fall rapidly unless you get one of those isolated downpours. Only a slim opportunity within the capital city, so between now and 7, we'll probably still hold on to the mid-90s where we are right now, 94. Thomasville is 95, same in Valdosta. It's another scorcher out there for sure. Weather watchers, a string of 93s in the central interior Big Bend, but 86 in Alligator Point. So the heat is being shared by most everybody, but it's the coast that benefits from the sea breeze initially. The sea breeze was able to fire off a couple spotty areas of storms, and where it is raining, we have at least some brief bouts of lightning. And even though the storms don't really encompass a large swath of territory, right along 221 in southern and southwestern Madison County, close to the community of Sermons, we have one downpour, occasional lightning from that. On the Ochlockonee River in the Liberty County, Wakulla County border, another lone thunderstorm producing at least a little bit of extra lightning, quick downpours. But this is mostly in the middle of forested regions and probably not a huge benefit to a large population. Other scattered activity along the Chattahoochee River, southwestern Miller County getting in on some action. We have seen those individual isolated thunderstorms helping to form these outflow boundaries. So a bit of a cool push of air from those earlier thunderstorms in Wakulla now entering Leon. And that could be part of the reason why temperatures have fallen from 100 to 94. Yeah, big difference, but it is a difference nonetheless. The heat will continue to cause a simmering feel through the evening time frame. Not a whole lot of showers until you go west of the region. And that's part of that low pressure circulation aloft that will try to inch closer to the east, closer into the deep south, eroding the upper high feature that produced such widespread heat today, and perhaps give us a better chance for better formation of showers, still in a scattered variety, and with the overall southwest wind that's set up tomorrow. That can maybe push a lot of that activity towards the north and the east. So westernmost areas, maybe a little more in the widely scattered variety of showers and storms, but still pretty hot. Eastern areas, you get the heat, but then maybe later in the day, you get those pop-up storms. So we'll put the rain coverage at about 50% of the area and mostly in our eastern zones with highs that will still be in the mid-90s. A couple thunderstorms to say the least across south central Georgia, maybe a slightly better chance tomorrow than what you had today, but still pretty hot either way you look at it. West to southwest winds 5 to 12, seas up to 2 feet, a light chop on bay and inland waters with maybe a few thunderstorms close to the coast forming along the sea breeze. In our 7-day forecast, including Father's Day this weekend, you may be able to give Dad an extra meteorological treat if things pan out. According to the forecast, we could have a drier and slightly cooler spell ahead.
You'll be up for some treats this weekend for sure.
I certainly hope so, and I think 86 degrees, if we meet that level, that's a treat in and of itself.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that, Cass.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll send things out to Gainesville, where Allison Posey will be live. Stay with us. The road to Omaha will end for one Florida team. The winner of tonight's Gainesville Super Regional between the Noles and Gators will be heading to the College World Series. Sports Director Allison Posey joins us live from Gainesville. Allison, how are the Seminoles feeling about tonight's game?
You know, Paulo, they lost 5-0 to Florida last night, but Florida State confident. Mike Martin made that apparent in his press conference after the loss last night, that his guys are still positive. They still have a lot to look forward to tonight, and just because they lost last night doesn't mean this series is over. It is a best-of-3 series. They did win 3-0 on Saturday night. They lost 5-0 last night. A win tonight, 9 innings away, 27 outs away, and they're going to Omaha for the first time since 2012. So a lot of positivity, a lot of confidence still involved with this Florida State team. You know, Tyler Holton, Lincoln grad, great job on the mound last night. He allowed just 2 hits through 6 innings of work, striking out 6 batters. He was just up against the 47th overall pick and the SEC Pitcher of the Year last night in Logan Shore. And Mike Martin said Holton did great. Logan Shore just did a little bit better.
Really gave his team a chance. It's just that Logan Shore didn't give us a chance. Our young men are ready to come out and compete tomorrow. And I'm very proud of our young men. And I just hope that we can play better than we did tonight and see what happens.
Playing better like they did last night, going to be the key in getting that win tonight over the Florida Gators. They're going to have their work cut out for them, though. If they thought Shore was tough last night, tonight they're facing A.J. Puck, who was drafted number 6 overall in the first round of the Major League Baseball draft on Thursday. On the mound tonight for the Florida State Seminoles, Cole Sands, a North Florida Christian graduate. And Mike Martin said he has a lot of confidence in Cole. Cole's pitched all year. He's been a starter all year long. So Florida State just needs to get it done at the plate. Good pitching, good defense, and pushing a run across. Probably going to do it. If I had to guess, this game going to be low scoring as well. Again, both games shutouts, 3-0, 5-0. Not a lot of scoring for one team, a lot of scoring for another. So I think tonight going to be another low scoring affair. Of course, we'll have a complete game wrap up for you coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. For now, though, from Gainesville, Allison Posey, WTXL ABC 27, dedicated to you.
And the WTXL road trip is back. 6 weeks, 6 communities. Next week, we're in Jefferson County showcasing Monticello. All week long at 6 p.m., we'll be sharing unique stories throughout the area. Then on Friday, June 24th, we're broadcasting live all day in Jefferson County in our sunrise and midday shows. And then the entire WTXL evening team will be in Monticello for the 5:30 and 6 p.m. newscasts. Again, the WTXL road trip begins next week and can be seen right here on air and online.
In our South Georgia 7-day forecast, they do increase the rain coverage as we head into later this week, so temperatures as a result will be decreasing a bit. We could have at least a better chance for some good soaking rain by late this week and perhaps a noticeable cool down for the upcoming weekend.
Oh, you're just teasing us with that cool down.
Yes, and the weekend. It's within sight.
I know. That does it for your news at 6. We'll see you right back here for your news at 11. Have a good night.